Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be reading a multi-character X-Reader by me, so let's get into it. Tanjiro. Your ex would not be safe. I mean it. At first you don't tell Tanjiro because you don't want to bother him. But Tanjiro's not an idiot. And he notices. He notices the signs. And how you behave with them. But he doesn't pressure you to say anything. Eventually, you come clean to him, telling him of everything, and apologizing repeatedly because you're afraid he was going to leave you. Tanjiro reassured you that you didn't owe him anything. And once you told him about your ex, he got very mad. But he concealed it well, because he didn't want to scare you. He did end up asking you for the name. When you asked why, he said it was just because of curiosity. Yeah, that definitely was not it. Tanjiro may be innocent and kind, but when it came to someone hurting you, then all of that would be tossed right out the window. Because no one, no matter who, was allowed to hurt you. And he was going to make sure of that for as long as you lived. He was going to protect you with all he had. And because of that, for some mysterious reason, your ex seemingly disappears and you don't see him again. Wonder why? Zenitsu. Zenitsu may be labeled as cowardly, or someone who's just afraid of confrontation. But when the case was about you, or about anyone facing injustice, then he would step in. No matter how scared he internally was. Nothing in the world would stop him from doing his job. And once he found out about your ex, who hurt you, Zenitsu comforted you. He hugged you close, caressed your cheeks, and he reassured you that you would never be hurt again. He does ask you to describe your ex, just in case if you meet up with him, so you'll know who that asshole was. And you do. But what happens is that he meets him when you're not around. So he grabs him by the shirt, holding him away from the people, and gives him a good talk. Perhaps a little punch or two, and maybe a bruise as well. Your ex runs off, terrified of what Zenitsu could do. Meanwhile, Zenitsu is relieved that it went that way. And when he goes back to you, he makes sure to spoil you as much as he could, feeling bad that all this happened to you without you telling him or anyone, and feeling like you were unable to ask for help. Inosuke only found out about your ex by accident. The two of you were dining out, and he was walking with you. You sat down while you went to order, and it just so happened, by a very unfortunate twist of fate, that your ex was there. He was ordering, completely unaware of who was watching him, before he turned around and noticed the guy. He walked up to him. "What's up?" Your ex only smiled, sly. "So, Lions with you right now, right?" She's such a slut. Didn't even take a few months before she went to date another man. Disgusting, if you ask me. You'd better leave her. She's just a dirty bitch. Inosuke went quiet for a moment, completely stunned, and before your ex could open his eye again, he slapped him, hard enough that he sent him to the ground crashing. Your ex looked up at him in fear. "If you say one more word about her, I'll kill you right now." Your ex ran off, while he stood up, running over to him. "Inosuke? What's going on? What happened?" He just hugged you, stroking your hair, and telling you not to worry about it, and that it was no big deal, and that your food would be coming soon. You were kind of worried, and he did talk to you about it later, but Inosuke didn't hold any ill feelings towards you. In fact, he only felt bad for you, that you lived and loved such an awful human being, and he was so glad that you're far away from that man now. Giyuu Tomioka. Giyuu only found because of a friend. She had talked to him, and it was not a coincidence. She just said that you were lucky to have him because of how bad your previous sex was. And once he knew that, he kept asking her more. She eventually gave in and told him everything, as he was insistent, and she could not get him to shut the hell up. Eventually, he even went as far as to ask her where he lived and his name. And he didn't tell anything else. He only went to the guy and punched him, threatening him. And when he went back to you, he didn't treat you any differently. In fact, he only treated you more gently. And when you tried to ask him what was going on, he didn't say anything. He only told you that he loved you and wanted to appreciate you more. But that was not a lie either, because it was all true to him. Rengoku would focus less on revenge and more on comforting you. He had told him, after a lot of time that you spent together. And even though he got mad at the guy, he was much more worried about you and your mental state. He would give you hugs and reassurances, and would always compliment you, and try to raise your self-esteem in any way. He didn't want you to be susceptible to abuse, even when he was not around. So he worked more on you, and taught you more about self-defense, all while taking care of you. But if he does see your acts, you best believe that you might tear him apart, if he even so much as looks at you in a way that he doesn't like. So, he's better off staying very far away from Rengoku, because if anything, Rengoku was an extremely loving partner who was protective as well. He loved you to the moon and back, and he had no problem showing it. And the only reason he would not go for the kill when that guy comes to him is probably because he fears that he might frighten you and put you under so much stress. He's gentle, and he always smiles at you, always reassures you, and you never feel afraid with him. To you, Rengoku came as a beacon of light to help you out of the dark tunnel that you were in, and you're eternally grateful for that.